I recently took magic mushrooms on quite a considerable scale for a programme on Channel 4, and it had a huge effect on my mental health. I think we've got a clip of just what I went through.
Don't put that in. I didn't know what to expect. It's like, you know, I experienced death. I experienced ego death.
That's right. I experienced ego death. As you can imagine, it took an awful lot of magic mushrooms to get to that point. I did it with fellow GB News regular Dominique Samuels because we had two people with opposing views to see whether it would bring us together. Afterwards, she said, "Do you think you'll support Donald Trump now?" I said, "No drug is that strong." But on a serious level, I found that afterwards it had an incredible effect on my mental health. And there's lots of evidence for this. A third of people who had clinical depression, not something I have, but a third of people who have clinical depression who went on a trip, that's when you take a lot of magic mushrooms, said that they were cured of it afterwards. And so now, from today, Australia is handing out magic mushrooms and MDMA to people with depression and with PTSD. I think it's time that the NHS started handing out magic mushrooms. We already give out all sorts of complicated antidepressants with a host of things in that we don't really know much about. And I'm not saying we shouldn't. Lots of people benefit from them. But if we use those kind of artificial things, shouldn't we be using nature's own medicines? I think this would have a massive effect on mental health. And the truth is that the arguments about drugs are so dated. Magic mushrooms are a Class A drug in this country. That means it's in the same category as cocaine or heroin, even though there is basically no evidence that you're going to get addicted to it. And so I think it's time to change the drug laws and hand out magic mushrooms.